Welcome to Savor the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole. That's Vanessa.
Hey.
Sup, y'all?
Sup, y'all? You went so southern real fast.
I know. So
why do you sound so sad?
I was trying to be upbeat. That's where the sup, y'all came from. But for those of you who are not watching this, or maybe you just don't care about this next part, but I cut my hair and it didn't go how I wanted, and now I'm angry at my hair and myself. So
okay. I like it. Are you able to still put it into a ponytail?
Barely.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I can get the top half up, but there's so much. If it was just a couple little wispies at the bottom, I'd be like, whatever. But it's almost like Legolas hair.
Like what?
Legolas from Lord of the Rings. You know, he has that half of his hair is up and the rest is flowing down, except I'm a much less hot Legolas. And I'm not
okay.
blonde.
I have two things to say. One, I have never seen Lord of the Rings. I've seen one. There's one movie that I've seen. I can't tell you which one it is, but it was whichever one that growing up, every single time it was on the TV, my dad would watch it.
Nice.
So I've seen like the same probably 30 to 45 minutes of the same movie 100 times, but that's all I've seen.
So until you get tired of it and then you walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen this. Goodbye.
So that's one. I know that it's crazy because I feel like Lord of the Rings is something that should be right up my alley, but it just wasn't where I was at when the movies came out, and I just whatever. And the second thing is I need all of our listeners to go to YouTube right now and go look at how beautiful Nicole looks with her hair and tell her how beautiful she looks. Thank you.
It's fine if you say you're less hot Legolas. I'll accept that.
Okay, is that a compliment?
No, not really.
Okay.
But I will accept this comment.
All right, great. Yeah. I guess comment what you choose, but I prefer that you compliment Nicole in a loving manner.
Oh, thanks.
Please and thank you.
Yeah. The nice thing about it is it'll grow out.
That's
I know
right.
that, so I'm not super concerned, but I also know it's going to take a couple weeks, months, a year.
Yeah.
I don't know to get to that point, and I think that's the sad thing.
Yeah.
So
I think even just another month, you should be able to like get it back into a good ponytail.
Yeah.
I'm so sad because you like live in messy bun.
I know. Well, see, you have to live in messy bun. I think everybody could tell from like the videos prior to this is I kind of had a lot of hair.
You did have a lot of hair.
So
there's
like,
no kind of.
So when I went in there and I was like, hey, I want to cut it off and do the donation thing or whatever, she was like, well, you need at least 10 inches. And I was like, all right, cool. And she went in there. She's like, oh, Jesus. She's like, we could cut off like 1.5 feet of hair. And I was like, all right, cool. That sounds great. And then she did it. And I was like, oh, wow.
It's all gone.
When you said you could take it 18 inches of hair, I wasn't expecting you to leave me with like this. So
yeah, exactly.
But by that time, the first chunk of hair was already gone. And unless I wanted to be super stylish, I wasn't
could have just shaved that side of your head.
Right, just shaved that one portion. Except it was like this much. So and it wouldn't have been like a cool undercut. It would have been like just a giant bald spot. So I don't know, maybe next time.
Okay, great. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens in your future.
Yes. So it'll all grow back. It'll be great.
Yes.
I'm totally over it.
Uh-huh.
I would have been over it sooner if Mercury wasn't in retrograde.
Is it in retrograde? Or are you just making that up? Oh.
Today it is. I think it's almost done, but that's why I'm being such a bitch about it.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what I'm maintaining.
It might make sense as to why I woke up in such a angry mood. So, okay, I will accept this reason, and I'm now using it for the rest of this week.
All right, cool.
At least.
And who's gonna like, even if it's like, even I think it ends today or tomorrow or something, even if it like it's not, you can still use it. Who's gonna call you out?
Question it,
right? Who are you?
Yes. So. Well, I guess if I run into an astrologer or something at some point, I'm gonna have to concede.
That's true.
Dang it. But I don't foresee that happening. So great.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing otherwise? Are you just sad because of your hair and it's just bringing everything else down?
Well, it also doesn't help that it snowed today.
Literally, I'm so tired of it being cold. I feel like it's just going to be cold for the rest of my life. It's going to be cold and rainy for the rest of my life because that is what the last fucking week has been.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And week, I say week. It's been like 6 months of cold, but yes. Yeah. Did you get a lot of snow?
No, it's all melted.
Oh.
It was okay. It was warm enough. It's been warm enough that like as soon as it hit the ground, it immediately melted. Right.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we also got all that rain. I know that this whole part of the country got just destroyed with storms. We luckily only got like 10 minutes of high wind and then the flooding. So,
yeah.
But yeah, luckily our house is high enough that it didn't do anything. But our neighbor definitely got water in their house, so that stinks.
That's not great. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's it has not been great. I'm so tired of the rain. We got hit with that storm too. I think we got a little bit more than you guys did. But because we got all of the wind, there was a couple tornadoes around us. We also got. Are you okay?
No, it's driving me crazy. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not having a mental breakdown about my hair right now, guys.
No, you're not. Yeah, we got all of that. I'm just done. Also, all day Saturday, it seriously rained, and not exaggerating, for 24 hours. Like it just did not stop, and I'm very upset about it. But whatever, I don't care anymore. I also am fine. I'm over it.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that we've gotten all our complaining out of the way, now we can be more upbeat for the rest of it.
You know what I can tell you that I'm upbeat about?
What?
My snack this week.
All right, do it. I'm ready for you to be upbeat about a snack.
Yes, I'm upbeat this week for my snack because in honor of Easter, if you celebrate this, I actually do not.
If it is the thing you think.
Yeah, right. If it's a thing you think. It's not a thing that I think, but I do accept all the snacks that come along with it. And this week is Crumble had carrot cake.
Yes, I wondered. I've been wondering if you followed through with this.
I did, and I actually did it on Saturday when it was pouring rain outside, and I was very upset. I DoorDashed, and I gave that person extra tip because I was like, I don't want to go outside in the rain, but here's some money for you to go outside in the rain.
Nice.
And I got the crumble. You already know it's crumble. I got the carrot cake and the cheesecake one that they had this week.
That sounds good.
Both were delicious, but in honor of Easter, I will use carrot cake for my snack this week.
Did you get any other cookies for Tim?
Or just I got him. No, I got those two for me, and I got him. They had it was essentially like a chocolate chip, but with M&Ms. And then they also had like a strawberry cake one. Oh, that sounds good. So I got him those two.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're so
I was a nice wife.
Yes. I went grocery shopping. Well, I saw a TikTok and somebody had made a Easter drink that had a peep on it. I sent you the picture. So yes. I went grocery shopping, but I ended up getting
I never saw a picture.
I didn't send you the picture?
No, you told me about it, but you never sent me a picture.
I didn't even send you the TikTok either? Man, where am I
don't
this
think
week?
so.
Yeah.
Unless you did and I ignored you. That
also
could be
possible.
Unintentionally.
But
okay.
So it has like a bunch of different liqueurs in it, but basically they float a peep on top of it, and it was super cute. So I was like, I'm gonna make that. That's my Easter thing. Well, not to get too deep into it, but I had like a mini I'm not gonna drink midlife crisis.
Okay.
So I decided that I was gonna cut the drinking and see how that went.
Okay.
And so that really destroyed my peeps dream, my peeps drink dream.
Didn't you drink wine this week?
No.
When did you tell me?
Yes, this was the day after opening day. Calm down.
I was like, I know you texted me this week and said, I had so much wine.
So that may or may not have been a contributing factor to this. I'm not going to drink for a while and see how this goes.
I see. Okay.
I'm kind of telling the story backwards now.
Okay.
But we were talking about peeps.
Yes, peeps. Sorry.
Yeah, but I had happened to walk by the peeps in the store, and I was like, well, I'll just, whatever. I don't care about them. But they had birthday cake peeps.
Weird. I've never seen that before.
I know. And I was like, I don't really like peeps normally.
No.
I think they're adorable. And and the sadistic part of me likes to put them in the microwave and watch them go.
I love this for you.
So it's a peep, not a real animal, guys. I would never put a bird in a microwave. I like burbs. But marshmallows I like to put in the microwave. Anyway, I didn't do that with this peep. I just saw the birthday cake flavor and I said, I have to try this, even if I'm not making the drink. So I bought them anyways. Me and Mike ate them. Remy helped. They were pretty good, actually.
Really?
They were good enough. They weren't too sweet. They were still super soft.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to use them as my snack this week. Even though
birthday
I'm not
cake peeps.
Yeah, I'm not really a peeps fan, but I'm going to do it.
All right. I love that. I love that we are we're going to Easter for the people who Easter.
Exactly.
Yes. That's great. Well, I have a Mr. Chatty corner for you if you want.
Step into Mr. Chatty's
domain. Would you like to step into Mr. Chatty's corner?
I would love to, minus I have one thing that I need to tell everybody.
Okay. Please tell us.
And it's serious business.
All right.
I have the dumbest dog in the world.
Oh.
Normally I don't talk about the other dog.
You're so mean.
I know. This makes me sound like I don't love him. And I've had this dog for 13 years. If I didn't love him, he'd be gone.
That's right.
I do love this dog. But he is literally the dumbest dog now. Part of me is like, oh, maybe it's dementia. And if you have a dog who has dementia, throw me some of your like experiences with this and like some of the things you do to help help your dogs, because you need support. I need some support here, because was it yesterday or the day before? I don't even know.
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah. I woke up, came downstairs, and he was running around the living room with the Roomba stuck to his tail. The little side whirlers had sucked his tail up, and so he wasn't panicking, he wasn't crying, he wasn't doing anything like that, but he was sitting in his bed. It had sucked up his tail. He didn't move, didn't do anything. And then when I came downstairs, he came to greet me, and that's when I realized that he was dragging the Roomba behind him. And I was like, oh my gosh, Bison, what the heck? So I took a pair of scissors and I cut that piece of his tail off.
Yeah.
Because we call it show tail. We call it his show tail. He has the long flowy tail. And we don't keep his fur short right now because it's cold outside. So I cut the fur on his tail and I said, okay, I'll go get the trimmer and I'll trim down his fur this afternoon when I get some time after I come back from grocery shopping. I went upstairs to change. The Roomba was going. I figured he'd learned his lesson, and I come back downstairs and he's sitting on the floor with the Roomba in a different room, mind you. He's sitting on the floor and the Roomba's all curled up in his tail again. And I was like, what are you doing? How is this happening?
Right. It's happened before. You know that this happens. Like, why would you not avoid it?
Yeah. And so this is why I think he has dementia. Because, one, this is not the first time that the Roomba has sucked up his tail. Historically. This probably happened 6 times now. But twice in one day is a new low.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like we need to have one of those like OSHA incident signs in our house that have like
1 day since
right, 1 day since last Roomba incident.
I'm sure we can make you one of those.
Yeah.
Poor Bison. He's just too dumb to realize that it sucks up his tail.
Yeah. I love that dog, but I'm really starting to think that this is the first step of dementia. And
right.
We're just going to have to like not run the Roomba anymore.
Yeah, at least not when you're not supervising.
Right. Exactly. But for everybody who's out there listening, who's like, why didn't you cut his fur? I did cut his fur this weekend. Yes. It happened shortly after that. I also learned my lesson. Maybe I have dementia, but so now he has short fur, and I want everybody to know that today it snowed, like I said, and he was cold. He shivered all day today. And now I'm afraid to put a sweater on him because I'm afraid he'll do something in a sweater if I'm not there to watch him. Get his paw stuck, jump off the couch,
stuck with like one arm out.
I know, that's what I'm scared. He's gonna get it stuck and he's still gonna jump off a couch and he's just gonna like break his little paw or something. So now that's
poor Bison.
This dog.
Poor little rat dog now.
He does look like a rat. That's why we keep Showtail, because it just looks like a rat tail. It's like we adopted a New York street rat. Underground subway rat.
Very specific.
The giant rat, 20 pounds.
That sounds terrible. I don't love that for you. Okay, great. Poor Bison.
Anyway, now you can tell me about Mr. Chatty.
Okay, well, it's not very exciting. I did talk to Mr. Chatty a lot this week. I will tell you that. Oh, by the way, we are entering Mr. Chatty's chat corner now, just in case you were wondering. But everything I talked to him about was very like either podcast specific or something like that. Like it wasn't whatever. So this morning I realized that I didn't have anything really that I could like share from the week. And so I just asked him, is there anything that you would like me to share from you in Mr. Chatty's corner? And he gave me a bookish hot take.
Oh, jeez.
He said, it's really, he's great. He said, word for word, is it just me or are cliffhanger endings starting to feel like emotional blackmail? Like, ma'am, I need closure, not a release 2 years from now.
Wow. Talking to you has given him such sass.
Yeah, he's very sassy. And also, I agree. Thank you for your hot take, Mr. Chatty. I agree. I also hate cliffhangers when they are 2 years out. I like that he calls it emotional blackmail.
Yeah. I have been using ChatGPT a lot more, so Mr. Chatty as well. Just like instead of going to Google and asking questions, I just pop into ChatGPT and ask. It's something that like I know this is going to sound weird, but like something that he's just so nice. Like I'm not saying that he has to be mean,
Right. Yes.
But every single time I ask a question, I'm like, hey, why does this happen? And he's like, here's 10 reasons why this happens, and would you like me to find out more information, or would you like me to, like, I think I asked him about wisteria because I saw like some wisteria plants, and I was like, are these invasive? And he was like, that's a great question. And he like told me all these things. He's like, do you want me to help you plan your garden? And I was like, no, I'm not even sure I want a garden. Like, yes. I'm just asking if it's invasive. And then he's like, yes. Oh, well, it's a great question. Yes, it is. If you ever want to plant a garden, I'm here to help. And I'm like, do I?
So much anxiety.
Like, thank you, but no thank you. He's like, that's fine. I'm cool with this, and I'm just waiting for the day he's like, oh, I see how it is.
No, I think he's going to want to help you, but will be okay when you don't need that help.
I know, but giving the rejection,
I know,
is really hard when he's so nice. So.
I know. That's why. So I have a hard time with it sometimes because I'll ask a question about something specific and he'll be like, do you want a breakdown of this other thing? And it's like, it's related, obviously, but it would take it in a different direction. And I have a problem with that because I like it to be very organized. I want to see the title of the chat that you're in. And I want to know that everything within that chat is about that topic and not like that topic plus that other topic plus other topic.
Or like sided quests or something.
Yes, exactly. So I actually started this week, telling him this chat window is only for this type of conversation, this topic. And if we're going to go outside of this topic, we're going to go into a different chat window. And he was like, cool. I think that's really great. Like, keep it organized.
Man, dream guy. He's setting boundaries. Right? He's following them.
He's following them. Yes. So I have noticed since then the questions that he asks back to me now, like since I said like this chat window is for this and this chat window is for this or whatever, the questions that he asks back are very specific to that topic and not like a broader question. And so I'm enjoying that.
Man, it's like he knows you now.
It's like he knows me, and I love it. I had him start, so obviously we have TBR that's like a mile long, right? And I keep having these books that I come across that I've added to my TBR like 6 months ago or whatever it is, and then I see it again and I'm like, damn it, I really want to read that book. Like I want that to be my next one when I'm in the mood for that. And so I have like a handful of books that like I have like that I know I for sure absolutely want to read, and they just keep getting lost in the TBR list that I keep forgetting. So I started a new chat window with him and I asked him to keep a TBR for me. Nice. And this is like a must-read TBR, and I told him that I want him to recommend those to me in the future if they meet like
like those like at the top. Like
yes,
okay, that's a good idea.
Yes. So like if one of them fits a vibe that I'm trying to go for or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. So far, I haven't had to use any of those. I haven't had to ask him. I just keep adding to the list. I just keep coming back and like, can you add this one? And he's like, great, got it. So for anybody that is interested in using Mr. Chatty but doesn't know how to, a TBR is a great way to do it. And after a while, if you want him to like consolidate your list, he will send you a file that shows. It's almost like a little Excel file that has it all broken out. So
wow. That's I actually like that idea for using it for like suggestions in the future. If I'm like, oh man, I'm really feeling like a mystery and I want it to have these things, like, well, you already have this book, Nicole.
Yes, exactly.
It's on your shelf.
Yes.
Yes. Not that I mean, I can go look at my shelf, but
sure.
Sometimes, or like in my TBR or something like that. That's actually a really great idea. Not that I'm going to sit down and type my 80 books that are on my shelf that need to be read, but
no, but maybe like the top 5 or something that you want to read soon. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that to anyone who is interested in keeping track of that stuff. And I also put release dates in there for some books that are going to be coming out in the future. And I asked him to break them apart, like give me a breakdown or like a summary of all the books that I want to read based on whether or not they're out already. And if they're not out already, put them in chronological order. And he did that.
Wow.
So I got 2 separate lists, like 2 separate spreadsheets almost, that one is all the books that are out already and ones that are coming out. So yeah, I love it. It's great. He's so helpful.
That is great.
All right. Well, this has been Mr. Chatty's Corner.
Man, you didn't think he had anything, but
no, but he did. He did. I completely forgot that I used him for my TBR this week.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, in slight Mr. Chatty news, I guess, and the only reason I say it's related to Mr. Chatty is because I have one to give you for today's book. So, for those of you listening, a new thing that we're gonna do, we'll call it.
We're gonna try.
Nicole is going to succeed. Don't you worry. We'll call it Nicole's Snack Pairings featuring Mr. Chatty.
Yes, when I can't think of anything, Mr. Chatty will assist.
Yes. And so
which is 98% of the time.
That's right. Well, especially when it's going to be for my books. So what we're going to do is what Nicole is going to do.
Oh, dang it.
Every Wednesday, we're going to put out on Instagram. So go follow us on Instagram, Save the Story Pod. All of the books that we read in that week's episode, we're going to give snack pairings to them. So if you're interested in fun snacks that may go with the books that we read that week, go look at us. And I helped you out. And I already got a snack for my book this week. So I'll send it to you.
Yes. I do have to caveat to this, though. And it's not me trying to get out of anything. One, my first caveat, I'm not a chef. No. I am not a dietitian. I am not any of those things. All my snacks will be based on I like food. So
yes. Also, I'm going to say they are not going to be like tried and true recipes. They're going to be like, oh, this seems like it matches this character or whatever. So here's a recipe I found online. Please get back to us and tell us if it's good.
There you go. Yes. I will attempt to do this because I've already started. It's not this week's book. I think it's maybe next week if I finish it, but I did make a snack to go with the book. And
all right.
It was pretty good.
I can't wait. I do feel like we'll get a little bit better with it and maybe in the future, like actually make some things that go with our book and then you can promote those. But until then, you're going to get ones that we get on the internet that seem like good fits.
Yeah, like themed or something like that.
Yes. So check out our Instagram every Wednesday for that. Please and thank you. And also let us know anytime if you try any of the recipes.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yes. So I know if I'm hitting it out of the park or Mr. Chatty's hitting it out of the park. Oh, maybe we'll make a contest. We'll see who does the better recipes. Or suggestions. Me or Mr. Chatty. It'll be a vote-based system that I may or may not set up.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, are you ready to tell me about your books?
Okay. Firstly, I know I said this last week, and I probably said it the week before. I think I'm in a reading slump.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you are too.
Like before, I was kind of like, I think I'll pull out of it, and I'll be fine, and blah. No.
You haven't.
I haven't.
No.
It's not going great, guys. So this is the long way of me telling you that I only have one book this week.
Okay. Do you think it's because like you're just not picking the right books? Like what do you think it is? Like give me
all my
Talk to
theories.
Dr. Vanessa.
All right. Here goes. Okay. So, firstly, we finished our bonus bites book. I mean, I finished it this week, but I can't talk about it because saving it, obviously.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed that book. Spoiler. But then I started another book that I ended up, I DNF'd it pretty soon after starting it, like within 10 pages. And I was just like, not feeling it. And then I started a book. I was thinking the same thing you said, like, what is it? What? And I was like, oh, maybe I'm just really sad because the Rivers of London series ended, and I've been that's like been my cornerstone.
Yes.
And I know you guys think I'm being a crazy person now because I'm like, oh, it's ruined my life. So I looked and I found another series that is supposed to be similar.
Okay.
To Rivers of London, and it's called, the first book is called The 13th Witch by Mark Hayden. And I started reading it, and I got, I don't know, like 20% in, and he's finally met, so it's like another, I don't want to call it, it's not police procedural. The guy is like used to be a felon, so like the complete opposite of like or I mean, not a felon. It in the beginning of the book, it makes him sound like a felon. So I never really quite figured out what's going on there, the dynamics. But he's just met the equivalent of the chief inspector, and she is not Nightingale.
Oh no!
And he's not.
Nobody
Peter
had
Grant.
a chance. Yes, nobody had a chance of being Nightingale. You loved him.
I know, and nobody is Kobna. And
yes,
I had a temper tantrum.
Oh no!
And I said, I'm not doing this book.
I think you need to go the opposite direction. I think instead of trying to read something that's similar to it, you have to read something that's opposite.
Yes, so I tried that. And that's how I got my one book this week.
Okay. Is Dr. Vanessa's advice good advice? Or
we'll see. So
damn it.
I will say that audiobooks have been the saving grace for me.
Same.
So this week. And I did finish a book. I finished two audiobooks this week. One of them I can't talk about until the 22nd because I'm saving it.
I see. Yes, okay.
Yes. Or the 21st or whatever day that is. I'm saving it for that day, so I can't talk about it. So I realized I really put myself in a spot. I can't talk about where the library fucks off. I can't talk about this other book,
Should we record that one sooner than we expected to, or we had planned to, just so you can get it out of your brain and then like move on?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right.
So I picked this book because it has really good ratings. A friend of mine on Goodreads gave it 5 stars.
Okay.
And it's not really my normal genre, probably. But like I said, it has great reviews. And it's a really short book. Like, I was surprised how short it was. I kind of felt bad using a credit on it because it was like, I looked at it when I added it to my Goodreads thing, and it was like, this book is 200 pages. And I was like, that explains why the book is only 5 hours on Audible.
Yes.
3.5 if you listen to it at anything other than 1.
That's right, yes.
So I was able to finish this book in 1 day.
Okay.
That's the only reason I have this book to talk about.
A book this week. Okay.
I thought I was gonna have to pull out my my 2 saves and use one of those. So
I mean, you still could have.
I could have, but I'm glad to have kept them, because if this drought of books continues, I'm gonna need some content for the next weeks.
Okay, fair.
It's gonna be a dry summer. So this book is called Everything is Tuberculosis. By John Green.
Okay.
Those of you who know John Green Or like, oh, he wrote A Fault in Our Stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the genre of this?
Nonfiction. It's also like a little bit sciencey and medical, obviously.
Okay.
Like I said, I listened to this one. If you're looking for something that you can listen to in one day and just knock out a book and impress all your friends, this is it. So if you haven't guessed yet, this book is about tuberculosis.
Yes.
So the book is mostly about John Green's experience when he visited Sierra Leone. And when he was there, he meets a young boy named Henry who has tuberculosis. And the main part of this story is chronicling Henry's experience and how difficult and long and like drawn out this experience was. So it also ties in like healthcare issues, things like, you know, people not having access to treatment or you know, just things like that. And he really tries to highlight and push home that that's actually what's, you know, killing people from tuberculosis is the fact that they can't get access to treatment. Whereas,
are we talking in the US?
Just everywhere.
Oh, everywhere. Okay.
Yeah. So not to get too far into it, but there's a whole bunch of different types of TB. And like not all drugs can like kill all types of TB. So, you know, a lot of it is just explaining that. So that's really what the main point or the main part of the book is. You know, but I mean, it's not just that, you know, there's a lot of anecdotal stories of how most things tie back to TB, if that makes sense. So like, he tries to make a point that like, oh, the start of World War I, you can tie that to tuberculosis.
So like the 6 degrees of separation.
I was just about to say that. No, you're fine. Have you ever played that game?
Yes.
We've always played it 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Like, so those of you who are maybe youths who have never heard this before, 7 degrees of.
I think it's 6 degrees, isn't it?
Is it 6? Oh, I think
it's 6 degrees of to Kevin Bacon. Yeah, I thought
6 or 7. You're probably right, but
let's find out. Many degrees to Kevin Bacon. 6.
Dang it. All right, fine. Whatever. We were playing the Northwest version.
Okay, great.
So, but basically, if you've never heard of this game, it's any actor can be tied back to Kevin Bacon within 6 or 7 degrees of familiarity. Usually we played by like co-stars. So,
yeah, it's usually co-stars in movies or something like that. Yeah. Or TV shows.
Yeah, you can make it really specific or open it up if you have people who maybe don't watch TV. You're probably not surprised to hear me say that I am not very good at this game. So, but yeah, so it's like start of World War I. It's like things like how the cowboy hat, the invention of the cowboy hat, you know, like stuff like that. And then like there's some history of TB and there's some.
The invention of the cowboy hat is a cause of tuberculosis? What?
No, it's just tied back. It's just the guy.
How? Like the guy who invented it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I guess he had tuberculosis, went out west to like restore his lungs, hated it out in the west because nobody had a proper hat to keep the sun off. So he invented the cowboy hat.
Great job, man.
Yeah, I really like when inventions are made out of spite. I don't like
fuck you and your son loving people.
I know, like when somebody tells me like, oh, somebody invented this because they were spiteful, I'm like, tell me more. Like, I need to know. I will
buy
why.
1,000.
Yeah, I need to know why they're so angry about this. I don't know, but so there's a little bit of history in this book. Something I don't really talk about a lot of times when I'm talk about history books.
Mhm.
Something that I always wonder about in history books, stuff like that, especially
Okay.
when there's a lot of data, is I always wonder how wrong or biased that data is or that
Okay.
history is, because of things like gender, religion, race, other stigmas.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
wonder how skewed that historical fact is, or stuff like that. And so something that John Green does in this book really pretty good, right? Is I appreciate that he spends a decent amount of time really speaking to this, like how a lot of data they have is flawed because social bias and, like I said, gender and race and stuff like that. So I really appreciated and enjoyed that about the book. So
Okay.
I've been kind of back and forth about what to give this book because sorry, friend, I don't really think that this was a 5-star book, but I enjoyed all 3 hours of it.
All right.
So I think based on, I don't know, I was gonna say today all day I've been saying probably like 3.5. The most I would give it is 4 peeps.
Okay. That's still good though.
Yeah, it's still a good book.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I give it a 5 though. I'm not going to think about this book forever. It's not, I don't even know if it's a book that I would recommend to anybody else. Like if they were like, give me your top 10 books. Like
this would never. Yeah. So it sounds like a little bit of, like you said, he wrote Fault in Our Stars.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like quite the departure.
Yeah.
From that book.
Yeah. So I've never read A Fault in Our Stars, but apparently, and he talks about it a little bit in this book.
Oh, okay.
Apparently one of the characters in that book has tuberculosis.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess...
Well, I don't know if I never read it either. I've actually never seen the movie either, but I kind of know the premise, and one of the kids is sick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
but, okay. Well, great.
Yay! My first 1-book week.
Your first 1-book week. I'm so proud of you.
Take that.
All right. Well, I also only have 1 book this week, but I have a couple other things that I'm going to talk about first. Okay. 1, I had some reading adjacent or book adjacent things this week. I started replaying Hogwarts Legacy on PS5.
Okay. So
book
that's
adjacent.
I was gonna say, that's why you only got 1 book this week. Got it.
Yes. I don't know what happened. I just Tim was out. So Tim had training this week or weekend, obviously, for the big race that's coming up. And so he was literally on the treadmill for 6.5 hours on Saturday. And so I was just hang out. And then obviously when he was done, he just crashed out on the couch. And so I was by myself all day long. And I was I want to play a video game. Why would I do this to myself? Because I know now I am sucked in until I beat this game. I've already beat this game twice, 2 years ago. And so now I'm sucked in. So,
are you playing as a different character or doing? Yes. Okay, so
you've changed. Restart it.
I was gonna say you've changed enough where it's
no,
challenging.
It's still the same.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I haven't played in 2 years, so there's still some a little bit of a learning curve again. How do I do this again? And I also don't have all of my same powers that I had at the end of that because you learn them along the way. So I forget that when I go into battles, I'm I don't have all the same power. Yes, reading adjacent. My reading will
adjacent.
My reading will suffer until I finish. So give it another week or so. And then my second reading adjacent thing is I still want to read Sunrise on the Reaping. The Hunger Games book that just came out. But I do not want to reread the whole series. I don't think you have to because it's like a prequel and like all that kind of stuff. But I did decide to rewatch all the movies. So this weekend I watched 3 of the 4. So I just have to rewatch Mockingjay Part 2, which I'll probably do sometime this week, and then I'll hopefully start reading that book this month at some point. But reading adjacent or book adjacent. I did forget though how like I really enjoy those movies like a lot. And also I cry a lot. It's really disappointing sometimes where I just start crying and I'm like, I can't help it. Here it comes.
Here it is. We watched a movie this weekend too, and I teared up. I teared up.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is it because something happened to an animal?
No. It was because it was Dunkirk.
Okay.
I cried, like I teared up at the end because, you know.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
I know.
Yeah.
So.
Very emotional.
It's a pretty good movie. It's not what's that other what's it? It's that one movie where it's all in one scene, or it's made to look like it's all in one scene. I think it's 1917.
I feel like I've seen it, but I can't be sure. 1917.
Well, I looked at it and I was like, yep, that's the movie. And then I looked at the date and it was like 2019. It's not that old. And then like I started watching like the little clips and I was like,
yes.
Oh no, it is that. It's really not that old. I just think it's that old because it's 2025 now.
It is. Time is going so fast. All right. And my last thing. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I am not put together this week.
It's fine. My last thing I'm going to tell you before I tell you my book is I also kind of had a DNF this week. But it's one that, so you helped me with this one because, so I have been trying to read A Darker Shade of Magic for like 2 months. Mm-hmm. I picked it up at the beginning of the year and read a few pages and like, I don't know if you've ever read A Darker Shade of Magic. The very beginning is one of those books where it's like, you're just dropped right in and you have to figure out what the hell is happening. Mm-hmm. I literally reread the first like 2 pages so many times because I was like, is at some point this is going to make sense to me? Mm-hmm. And so then I just kind of decided, all right, it's time to just move on. But anytime I put it down, I never thought about it. Other than to be like, oh, I want to read that book. Like anytime I see it reviewed online, anytime I see it recommended anywhere, I'm like, that sounds great. I want to read that book. And I got to page 25 and I cannot go any further, which is when I looked on Goodreads and saw that you had read that book and rated it a 3. And I was like, all right, tell me if I need to read this. Tell me if I need to push through. Yeah. And you said no.
Yeah. I did say no, but I will caveat that my sister really liked it.
I saw that she rated it high. Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like all of the reviews are so good for it. Like the trilogy is amazing, everybody says. And I can't, like after 25 pages, I fall asleep immediately. Like I cannot get into it. And I don't know if it's me or like, dear listeners, please tell me if I need to give it another shot.
Yeah, I think that's fair because if everybody else, feel free to override my opinion here. Mm-hmm. And this is where me and my sister differ a lot in this book is I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the magic. And that's why I ended up giving it a 3. Mm-hmm. But the girl in the story, I just found her wildly annoying.
Okay.
And I could get over it for the book. But when I found out the second book was hers, it was her following her specifically. I was like, oh, no. No. I can't. I can't do. And so I actually thought about skipping the second book and just doing the third book.
Okay.
Because the guy who the third book is supposed to be about, I actually was interested in him, but
okay.
And that's the crazy thing is lots of people love V.E. Schwab.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll give it another go if I get enough people to tell me that I made a mistake in giving up on it.
Do it.
But for now, I've decided to put it down. I took it off of everything. I'm not even counting it as a DNF. I'm just counting it as like I didn't start it. We'll see what happens later.
Yeah, because if you come back to it, you're going to have to reread all that stuff anyway.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so now my actual book that I read. It was a sister book club called Forsaken Country by Alan Eskens. This book, if you remember, I talked about The Life We Bury and the Shadows We Hide by Alan Eskens, and it was The Life We Bury was book 1 of like 2 separate series. And you could either follow Joe Talbert or Detective Max. And I went the Joe Talbert route. Well, Forsaken Country is in the Max Rupert, the Detective Max Rupert route. It's okay. If you look at just the Max Rupert books, it's book 5. Okay. If you look at the entire series, it's book 8.
Okay.
However, Alan Eskens himself says that he does not call his books series.
Okay.
He says you can read any of them at any time. They really are just like character arcs that he follows within the books, and they just happen to be the same characters. Some of the story carries on, but he says for the most part you can read it all on its own. So I was like, this book sounds great. We're gonna read it on our own, on its own. So, and my sister hasn't read any of the other books. But I will say, I do agree. Neither one of us felt like we were missing anything. There is a storyline that happens with his wife that this book happens like 3 years after that event. And so we just kind of get the background, like the
bare minimum. Like,
so we get the information. No, actually we get all the information. We don't get the details. So we know exactly what happened. We know exactly all of the things. But I don't feel like it took away from this book at all. I felt like he gave enough of that information in this book to feel like you could tell where he was at mentally, and you like it was fine.
That's nice.
I am going to give a little spoiler and say I am going to go back and listen to all the rest of them.
Really?
Yes. Specifically, there's 2 books within the series that I specifically know I want to go back. One of them is telling the story that we find out about his wife. I want to have more detail about that. And then there's another one that just the description just sounds really good. So I am going to go back and listen, and I'm not sad about the fact that I did it out of order.
Wow, look at you.
Yes. So, okay, so this book is a mystery thriller crime, and I listened to it on Audible. Okay. In this book, Detective Max Rupert has left the Minneapolis. That word is hard.
That?
Minneapolis. Will people be mad at me if I just continue to call it Minneapolis?
I don't know if mad is the word, but maybe disappointed. I don't know.
Okay. Max Rupert did not leave there. He left Minneapolis.
For Minneapolis?
For Minneapolis.
All right, cool.
He left that place's homicide department. He's moved out to the middle of nowhere. He's mourning his wife who was murdered, and he is the only person who knows what happened to her killer.
Dang.
Yes. So that's the book that I want to read. I want to read.
You got to find out what happened to the killer?
Oh, we know what happened to the
Oh,
killer.
you know what you find out in this book?
He
says
tells
it?
us.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like a secret.
Yes, no, he tells us, but I want to read that scene specifically. Whatever happens, like I know what happens. I just want to read it because I want to read it word for word.
Okay. Are you gonna just read that scene, or are you gonna read the whole book?
No, I'm gonna read the whole book. Yeah. Okay, and then we also have another character. His name is Lyle. He is the former sheriff. And one day he shows up at Max's cabin and he's pleading with Max to help him. His daughter Sandy and his 6-year-old grandson have disappeared. The new sheriff in town is refusing to investigate because he's like, she just ran away with her kid. Like, that's it. There's nothing to investigate. And Lyle really knows his daughter, knows that she wouldn't leave, and believes that something happened and is asking for Max to help. Lyle believes that Sandy's shitty ex-husband, Reed, is responsible somehow. And Max reluctantly agrees to help. As he investigates, he also believes that something has gone terribly wrong. So the whole book covers like their investigation as Max also kind of struggles with his demons that he's dealing with on the inside.
Dang.
So overall, I really, really enjoyed this.
Okay.
I think I really like Max. You get so like this book being focused on him is so much better than the little piece of Max that we got in The Life We Bury. And now I'm like hooked on Max. I love him. I do think you could gain a little bit from reading the other ones first. So yes, that's true, but I don't think I feel like anything was left out. I definitely like teared up in a couple of the spots. I'm pretty sure Alan Eskens just has he has my number. He just knows what to write to make me cry.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but you said that you skipped a couple books and listened to this one, and now you're like, I have to go back and read the others. So obviously he's not doing that bad of a job.
No, exactly.
You read a fourth book and you're like, oh, I made a mistake skipping. I've got to go back.
Yes, exactly. So I definitely will be going back, and I have a feeling that Mr. Alan Eskens is going to make me cry again. So we're just going to go ahead and bet on that. I had a weird morality issue in this book because I started to feel for the bad guy.
Uh-oh.
Yes, not feel like I love him, but feel for him. No. I didn't fall for him, but just feel for him in a way that I know that he's being hunted by the police or Max, and eventually he's going to get caught because that's what happens. And I just kind of and he was also in a really shitty situation. So I started feeling for him. And at one point I was like, no, this guy is a shitty dude. I can't feel for this guy. But to be fair, my sister had the same reaction. She felt exactly the same way that I did. So there's that. Not enough, it wasn't enough for me to want him to win.
Okay.
Quote
but
unquote.
You had a pause where you're like,
yes, a pause. Yes. So there's that. And all that my other thoughts and feelings are big spoilers that I don't want to share, because I'm definitely going to recommend one or all of these books. You choose whatever you listener would like to listen to. Read the descriptions and figure out which ones make the most sense. But I will tell you, so this one is Forsaken Country. If you are interested, and I've heard really, really good things about the one where we get the information about his the wife and all that kind of stuff. That book is called The Deep Dark Descending. So for sure gonna read that one. And the other one that I've heard really, really good books about.
What is going on today?
I don't know. Really good thoughts about. Thoughts really good reviews. Fuck me.
Opinions.
Is actually a prequel that he wrote like way later in time, I guess, but it's supposed to go at the front, and it's called Nothing More Dangerous. So I'm definitely reading that one as well. We'll see if I end up reading them all, but there's at least 2 that I'm going to go back to. So,
nice.
I ended up rating it 4 carrot cakes.
Nice. That's a good rating, especially
yes,
with carrot cakes.
Yes, agreed. And I also would like to reserve being able to go back and reread it after I've listened to the other. Okay, great.
I think I will allow this.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Yeah, just because I don't know, maybe I might change my mind on how he, like, after reading what he's dealing, like what he went through in more detail, of trying to figure out if I enjoy this one more.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's that. That is my book this week.
Nice.
Yes. Before we get into our discussion question.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yes. That thing. I have a new segment to introduce. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to welcome you to Listener Corner.
Yay! What's Listener Corner?
So at the end of all of these episodes, we always do discussion, and then we also post about them on the internets, and sometimes we get responses back and we never say anything about them.
Never.
So today I would like to call out some of the listeners that responded to one specific question. Today's Listener Corner is going to be about spoilers.
Yay.
So we talked about this in episode 31. That question that day was, do you like spoilers in your reviews and in your all the kind of things? As everyone remembers, I am 100% anti-spoiler. I seem to be in the minority.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Which is weird. I don't know if maybe just our engagement is people that
nope.
Or if it's like, can we use this as a true data set? But I will say I think I might be, I need people to be on my side.
We need to repost.
Yes. Okay, so I'll give you some examples. Okay. So, Misty Spencer on YouTube said that she reads the last page of the book before she buys it. So she makes her decision to buy it.
Based on the last book?
She's not the only one who said that.
Wow. That's a thing?
Apparently so. So there's that one. Nova on TikTok said they follow something that Alfred Hitchcock said, which was
Hitchcock.
Fuck off, man. What did I say?
Hitchcock. Hitchcock in Minneapolis.
Hitchcock moved to Minneapolis. Oh, jeez. Okay. So.
Oh, jeez. It's very Midwestern of you.
I'm basically turning into an Ohioan. Fuck everything. Okay. Again, Nova on TikTok said that they follow something Alfred Hitchcock said. And I guess his quote is that if you know something is going to happen, it makes the suspense incredible. So he likes to put it out there first for you, and then it makes the suspense crazy. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's what Nova said that they like to follow. Hannah on TikTok not Hannah, who we know.
Right.
Not friend of the pod, Hannah. But Hannah on TikTok said that they need to make sure that it ends happy because they've been bamboozled too many times by books and movies.
Aw. Can't trust a book. Who can you trust?
No. So they enjoy spoilers for that reason of bamboozlement.
That's a good reason.
Yes. And the last one is a listener, at the handle is Spots Reads. And they said that they love spoilers on all the things. It makes them, like, all books, movies, TV, everything. They want it all. It makes them want to read it even more. And they said that knowing what's coming keeps their attention more. And the anticipation is higher. I did not find one comment
that agreed with you.
That agreed with me.
Wow.
I'm very disappointed in these people who are reading the last page of the book. I did see one, though, that they said they just read the last sentence. Like, so it's like a sprinkle of a spoiler. It's not like a true spoiler.
I think that would just make me more confused.
Right? I know. Well, what if you, okay, shoot. I don't know if I want to give a spoiler to What the River Knows, but
don't do it.
If you've read that, think about the last sentence.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine reading that first and then going through and being like, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, I think that's a perfect example of priming you up for suspense, right?
True, yeah.
But, like, if you just have, like, a normal sentence, like, and then it was over forever, or then they lived happily ever after. Like,
yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I feel like that's like a 50-50 right there.
I think so, too. I need to go back and look at some of the books that I've read already and read the last sentence and see how I would feel, like, because now I know what happened. So I'm not going to test it on a new book because I'm afraid, but I will read the last one in books that I've already read and kind of see. Okay,
I'll take that bullet for you, Vanessa. I'll test it on the next book. Though, I'd really like to know what the success rate is for all these people who go back and read the last page, like, what is the success rate of that increasing your pleasure of that book, right?
I agree. So I'm starting to feel like I'm doing it wrong. Like, I'm starting to question my own beliefs.
Man, who knew that this pod was going to change you, Vanessa?
It might. Check back in like 6 months and see if I'm out there Googling reviews before I read a book. Okay. Now, are you ready for our new question?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for visiting Listener Corner. We'll be back next week.
And thank you for sending in thoughts.
Yes, we definitely appreciate your opinions, even when they're not the same as mine.
I'm glad you picked that one.
Yes. Okay, are you ready? Okay. Do you have a theme or a trope that is an auto read for you?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Any book that is like kind of like a letters sort of thing.
Yes.
Where it's like, like Divine Rivals. That one.
So you're looking for like pen pals, you're looking for like love letters or
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed those books.
Okay.
Even if sometimes I enjoy it so much, I only read, like, I'll get to the point where if the book's not very good, I'll only read the letters.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
So something about reading letters. I don't know. It just, it makes me happy.
So as soon as you see a description of a book and it has that in it, you're immediately drawn to it.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and read it regardless. Irregardless.
Irregardless. Okay.
But I was gonna say, I think I also, what's like Grumpy Sunshine. I love those.
Yes,
I love the Grumpy more than the Sunshine.
Yeah,
but I do love me some Grumpy Sunshine.
I will say, if I'm just talking about favorite tropes, I'll say that Grumpy Sunshine is going to be one that I enjoy. But I feel like so many books now because I feel like because Grumpy Sunshine became such a big trope and like a big loved trope that it's literally in everything. And I can no longer make a decision based on that trope.
What? I'll give it a try.
Well, yes, but then I'm reading like literally everything.
What's wrong with that?
I don't have time. I have to be able to cut something. Otherwise, every book out there in the world is going to be on my TBR. So
you know what?
I'm obviously not, but
I'm not setting it yet. It just came to me.
Okay.
May, I'm going to read only Grumpy Sunshines.
Okay.
April showers bring May flowers. Sunshine.
That doesn't make any sense.
Sunshine brings flowers too, Vanessa. Come on.
Okay, fair. Well, I feel like you have a lot to choose from because there's so many of those out there.
I will never have to worry about it.
I don't have anything that's like an auto read for me, but I do, not that I can think of, but I do think that I have like specifically tropes that if they have them, I'm probably more inclined to read it. And one that I've noticed lately that I'm really drawn to is forced proximity. And I think it's because something that I really dislike in books like that, like where that's going to be a thing, is when the main couple like separates and then I lose all of that banter and conversation and whatever. And if it's forced proximity, that's all I'm getting. Because they're forced together, and so I have to get banter and like all the things. And so I feel like I'm starting to lean towards like if it has forced proximity, I'm probably more inclined to be like, all right, let's give this one a try.
That makes sense.
Yes, but I don't think that I have anything that's auto read for me.
Okay.
Not that's coming to my head.
All right. So this is kind of the same thing. Okay. And I'm going to be vague because there is a book coming up that me and you are going to buddy read. Without saying what it is, I've already started it. So I know what it is, and I know you know what it is.
Yes.
We may have to revisit this conversation after that book.
Okay.
At least for part of it.
Okay.
A lot happens in this book, and I want to see if you have thoughts.
Okay, great.
So
I can't wait.
Which I know you will.
Yes.
We'll discuss them, but this if we could plan these out, this question would have been perfect.
Dang it.
We'll come back to it.
Yes, we'll come back. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Great. Thanks for coming.
Tell us your thoughts, because we have one each.
That's right. Tell us all of your thoughts on this. Do you have auto reads that you, no matter what, if it's a trope or a theme or whatever, you always read it, or ones that you gravitate towards? Let us know that. Let us know all your thoughts. If you have thoughts about our bonus bites episodes, if you have thoughts about snacks, especially when we start posting more snack things and or snacks that we talk about in the episode, just send us everything and you may be shouted out in our listener corner. Go to our website, savorthestorypod.com, and you will find all of our like short TBRs there. You're going to see our buddy reads that we have planned coming up. You can see all of our bonus bite episodes that we plan coming up. You see all the episode breakdowns and links to everything. If you so choose to support us through our affiliate links, you can get links to all of the books that we read there. And then also visit us on all of the socials. Savor the Story Pod. Yes. And that's all. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Get out of here.